There was a biggest misconception of a decade of our American culture called the 70s. And the 70s, to me, is what people thought the 60s were. The 70s is really what the 60s were. When you talk about 60s and music, you think of what? Kingston Trio? I don't think so. Remember, the Summer of Love was what, 67, 68? Woodstock was 69. The Vietnam War ended in 70. 70 wasn't, it wasn't just disco, but more events happened during that time than I can remember, certainly. There is a book that is out that details, that deals with an aspect of this. It's called Divas, The Fabulous Photography of Ken Duncan. And it is an amazing book. And the text is written by my guest, Stephen Silverman. Stephen, welcome to this thing of ours here.
Thank you, Lionel.
First of all, what is this?
What's a diva?
Yeah.
It's someone who can command the spotlight without ever needing an electric bulb on her. It's all women, we should point out, although there is a transsexual in the book. And they were all photographed by this wonderful photographer named Ken Duncan, sadly no longer with us. But they were the women who were on Broadway, who were on the Metropolitan Opera stage, who were on the stage at the New York State Theater dancing. They were on the floor at Studio 54. These were the women who were of the 70s. The Angela Lansbury's on the cover. There was this brand new singer who was singing in a steam bath named Bette Midler. He snapped her. In fact, she's written the introduction to the book. Ken Duncan shot Bette Midler's early photo albums. And I went back and wrote the bios and appreciations of all these women. And I hope captured the time, that they were first doing their thing.
Well, I don't want to belabor the point, but I do believe in sticking to the lexicon. The word diva, especially in the opera sense, was something of an honor. It's today means somebody who's feisty, a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
And that's not what this is.
We've confused the
Yes.
term with prima donna.
Right.
But we're calling them divas, and we mean it in a nice way.
And this is a compilation of people who, and the reason why I think this is important, everybody here had some form of talent. Today, I was just reading something. Whenever I see Kim Kardashian, Paris Hilton, and you had to explain to somebody from another planet, what do they do? Well, Kim Kardashian was in a sex video and has a large butt. She's a stand-up-pigeon woman whose stepfather's Bruce Jenner. Yeah, but what does she do? Well, she's got a large butt, and these people, Carol Channing, whatever.
May I
please.
quote Phyllis Dillard, just to interject? She said, the thing about Paris Hilton, she makes Zsa Zsa look like an actress.
But we are immersed, Stephen, in a world of non-stars, pseudo-stars.
Right.
I was talking about dear friend Joe Kenneman. I used to love this period of time, and I'm from Florida, so I wasn't in the New York.
Well, these are women who lit up the room when they walked in, whether they're walking on stage or really just walking into a party.
But during that time, it seems like, and I don't want to just wax nostalgic, but when I would watch, I only knew of these people through Merv Griffin and through Mike Douglas and others. Is it me, or were they actually funny, talented? Everybody.
No, they were accomplished. You really had to be somebody before. Now it's hiring the right publicist. It's being in the right. It's learning how to pose. It's in a way, it's greasing the palm of the paparazzi to take your picture so much that it gets out there, and that's done today. Where we didn't stoop to that level back then.
There was also a time when Broadway and musicals, think of what was going on. We had 70s. You had Studio 54. You had Broadway. You had gay community, people coming out of the closet in droves. It was a critical stage. It's post Stonewall, I guess.
Yes.
You had Bette Midler. You had others. It was campy. It was, I think, John Waters meets. I mean, this was a very
right.
serious time that I think sometimes people can confuse as frivolous, but it was, but it was more.
It was youthful, I think, is the term we're looking for. Bette Midler writes in the introduction to this, we were also young and skinny back then.
And also the gaudy clothes. But gaudy now, everything in retrospect obviously looks, go through this, just play word association, just pick anybody out. And by the way, you ready for this? This is just a great book to sit and just look at.
Yeah, it's almost like your
takes
high
no-
school yearbook.
Yes, right.
Oh, I remember her.
Right.
Well, Lena Horne. That's classic. But that's classic going way back. Twyla Tharp, the choreographer. But I mean, Bernadette Peters. It's funny. You look at these pictures, except for the ones in which she has straight hair, but she looks the same.
She
today.
has not. She has not.
There's
changed.
something angelic about her, and I no, no kidding here. Well, Candy Darling. There's our transsexual. She was part of the Warhol group. Kim Hunter, we remember actually in the 50s, Marlon Brando screamed Stella, and Kim Hunter came walking down the stairs. That's the actress. But, look at Angela Lansbury. Really, she played Mrs. Lovett in Sweeney Todd. She's very down and dirty. Remember, at the end of the musical, she was tossed into an oven. So here she is at her most glam in a fur. This was her curtain call outfit for Auntie Mame.
And by the way, the book is Divas, and don't forget Christmas is around the corner, and it's fine for Data Grad, and it does not make a good stocking stuffer because it's huge.
It's large. You need a brand new coffee table.
But you
for
know what?
this one.
This is one of those books, Steve, that I think is one of those ones where when you move, you don't give away.
Right.
It's a very
Thanks,
simple
Lionel.
thing.